We are only 5 days away from a statewide teacher walkout if lawmakers cannot come up with a plan to fund education. TPS Superintendent Dr. Deborah Gist is with us this morning to talk about the impact to the district here and really statewide. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Leanne.
Okay, so on Monday, I saw your tweet that you said, you know, this is really great progress, but it's still not enough. Your reaction to what the House has done?
You know, I am actually incredibly encouraged. And the momentum that we see happening in our state is happening because people from all across the state, not just teachers, but parents and business leaders and others have come together and said enough is enough. And lawmakers heard that message and they worked together in a bipartisan way. And in the House got something really historical done. And that's exciting.
But it's not what you all need. To explain kind of what your perspective is on this, because people say, well, it's at least a start.
It is absolutely a start. And I think that that's a very important point. You know, when you look at the teacher salaries in particular, it's very close to what the Oklahoma Education Association asked for year one. There are a few things about it that are lacking. One is that there's some questions about the makeup of the revenue and the way they put it together and whether or not it's solid. And so there are some folks running those numbers. So that's really important. We have to make sure that it's real before everybody celebrates. The other thing is that there are aspects of it that are not quite what they need to be. One thing is that we need some really solid signaling that this is just a first step, because the OEA plan was a multiple year plan, and we know that this is not something that we can resolve in 1 year, and we need a really solid commitment that there's an understanding that we have to come back to continue working on this over the next couple of years. The other thing is, in this particular package, there's not even really close to the amount of support needed for our support professionals in our districts. These are our bus drivers and our custodians and our clerks and so forth. And you know, when we talk about our teachers making ends meet, which is very difficult for them, it's even more extraordinarily difficult for those folks who are on these hourly wages, and they really desperately need an increase in their rates.
Have you been able to get a feel for the mood of the teachers?
They are enthusiastic. I think they are cautiously optimistic, I suppose you might say, and feeling their energy. They're feeling the power that happens when people come together in a movement like the way they have, and I think they're enthusiastic about getting together on Monday and making their voices heard. And we're watching to see whether or not that'll come together the way we thought it might.
What do you tell parents that obviously are going to have some, in some cases, dire situations? I have to watch my child because they can't go to school. I really need to be at work. The community, though, is really kind of coming together in a very powerful way.
Well, you know, in the way Tulsa always does, Tulsa has stepped up in a big way. And so we absolutely have supports for those who need it, who don't have family or others who can step in and pitch in when something like this happens. And so through the United Way, the Tulsa Area United Way has gotten together with organizations all across the city, and there are supports available for childcare, for engagement opportunities, for food services and so forth.
And we've put that information on our website right on the top in the blue banner. You can click on that and get access if you need it. We're going to wrap in about a minute, but I'm curious. You mentioned obviously the Senate is still considering this measure. Should they pass it? Should the governor sign it? What will be Tulsa's plan on Monday?
You know, it's all still very fluid. We're watching it very closely. The goal has never been to not have school on Monday. We all want to have school on Monday. I think what we have to see is this coming together? Will the Senate pass it? Will they pass the same thing? Will it need to go back to the House or not? Are the revenue measures sound? Have they been really crunched carefully to make sure that they're real? And then whether or not the governor signs it. So I think there are a lot of things that have to happen here in just a short couple of days, and we're just going to continue watching it, and we'll stay in close touch with our families.
Very good. All right, Dr. Deborah Gist, Tulsa Public Schools Superintendent, we appreciate your time and insight.
Thanks.